Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in this video. So this video is going to be about the Aquarius Amsha or the sign of Aquarius in the Navamsha chart and how it leads to a phenomenon which is known as Vilupta. Okay, Vilupta means the planet which the planet which is Vilupt, it loses its significance. Okay, so you can look at Vilupta as a form of deactivation where, certain signification of the planet is going to be missing somehow in the life of the native. And that happens with every planet that goes into Aquarius Navamsha. Okay, so there is one video which I made on Scorpio Navamsha and how it represents your mistakes. Okay, so this is about Aquarius Navamsha and how it can cause the deactivation of a planet that is placed in the Aquarius Amsha of the Navamsha chart. So ideally, I would not like any planet to go into Scorpio or Aquarius, but then that is a matter of certain amount of luck as well. Okay, so what happens if the planets that are in Aquarius Navamsha that go into Aquarius Amsha? Okay, so if the sun goes into Aquarius Amsha, in that case the person is going to feel that the fatherly significance or the fatherly influence is missing. Okay, the person might not have a father to begin with. For example, the father might pass away at the time of birth, or maybe the parents get separated and the child is forced to live with the mother. Or in certain cases, the native, I've seen this happening in certain charts, that the native does not find any support from the boss in his or her workplace. Okay, that is what happens when the sun goes into Aquarius Amsha. If the moon goes into Aquarius Amsha, then obviously the motherly love, the nourishment is always missing from the life of the native. Okay. And I've also seen natives facing problems in terms of acquiring their own property, getting their own house, or getting their own vehicles. Okay. If the moon goes into Aquarius Amsha. Okay. And one factor which, as I said, one factor which is missing is nourishment. The native is always going to feel that he or she never got the nourishment he or she deserved as a child. Okay, and then if Mars goes into Aquarius Amsha, in that case the person is going to be always the person is always going to fall short when it comes to taking the initiative, when it comes to showing a bit of courage and taking you know some initiative for some new work or for some change. Okay, the that such a person would be the last one to fall in line whenever it comes to doing something new or learning something new. Okay, so Mars in Aquarius Amsha also gives problems in terms of landed property. Okay, there is a client that I have who is pretty much rich, but he is always searching for a piece of land to settle down in the city, but he has never found one because his Mars is in Aquarius Amsha. Okay, if Mercury goes into Aquarius Amsha, then the person is always going to find difficulties in learning, in memorizing things, in processing new information. I've seen a person finding very difficult to get through his music lessons. Okay, he belongs to a family of traditional musicians, and his parents wanted him to pursue a career in music, so he found it quite difficult to make sense of whatever was being imparted to him. And this is happening because Mercury rules the air sign of Gemini. Okay, so it can give problems with learning. It can also give problems in memorizing new things or in articulating your views if you have Mercury in Aquarius Amsha. Okay, if Jupiter goes into Aquarius Amsha, then you'd always complain or you'll always suffer from a lack of guidance, from a lack of fatherly figures, from a lack of, you know, knowledge, not knowledge basically, from a lack of wisdom. I mean, a lot of people have this great Mercury in their charts that allows them to consume a lot of books, go through a lot of lectures, whether it's a audio lecture, a video lecture, attend a lot of seminars. But then if Jupiter goes into Aquarius Navamsha, you'll never make any application. You'll never be able to make any application of whatever you have been learning or whatever you have learned. Okay, so you'll always feel that your education has been a waste because you've never gotten a job according to your education, according to your degree. Okay, so there is this great sense of wisdom which is missing. And remember, knowledge is power. That is a cliche, but in reality, application of knowledge is the real power. So Jupiter represents the application of whatever you have learned. And if you have Jupiter in Aquarius Amsha, it denotes great difficulties in applying whatever your knowledge is. Okay, if Venus goes into the into the Navamsha of Aquarius, in that case, the person finds it very difficult to first of all get married, because Venus is the karaka for marriage, and second of all, even if the person gets married, then the person is not going to find much nourishment from his or her spouse. Okay, remember, Venus also represents your nourishment. Just like the moon represents motherly nourishment, similarly, Venus represents nourishment from your spouse. And if any relationship does not give you nourishment, then you will feel that it's not worth it. It's not, it's absolutely it's absolutely worthless to be in a relationship where you are not nourished, where you don't feel appreciated. I've seen this person being very rich, getting married to a very beautiful lady, but then he never gets his due, although he makes a good amount of money. He does a lot of good work in terms of his, he has done a lot of good work. He has achieved a lot in terms of his career. But when it comes to finding that appreciation from the spouse, that has always been somehow missing in his life. And that happens when Venus goes into Aquarius Amsha. If Saturn goes into Aquarius Amsha, then you'll face a lot of delays and obstacles when it comes to completing things. Okay, you'll also find it very, very difficult to let go of things. Okay, because Saturn represents your ability to let go. So you'll be clinging to people, you'll be clinging to relationships which no longer work. You'll be clinging to people who no longer offer any value to you, and that there is this time to let go, but you're not being able to do it. There is this time to end things, you're not being able to do it because you have the Saturn in Aquarius Amsha, and Saturn also represents your karma. So you'll find it very difficult to get a job after your education is over. So these problems can come in if you have Saturn in Aquarius Amsha. If you have Rahu in Aquarius Amsha, then you will find it very difficult to break to go in search of things which you don't know. You'll be very hesitant to start new things. You'll be very hesitant to learn new things. Remember, Rahu represents all the things that you have to learn in this lifetime. So whenever it comes to leaving your comfort zone, you'll find it very difficult to leave your comfort zone and do something new or take this new initiative. Okay, because if Rahu goes into Aquarius Navamsha or Aquarius Amsha, you will find it very, uncomfortable to let go of your comfort zone, to let go of your, comfort zone can mean anything. It can mean your house, it can mean your city, it can mean, you know, letting go of your perceptions as well. You may be brought up with a certain perception in your childhood, but now when it comes to your work life, maybe it is the time to let go of your comfort zone and change your perception. But if Rahu is an Aquarius Navamsha, you will find it very difficult to do it. If Ketu goes into Aquarius Navamsha, then you will find it very difficult to focus. You'll find it very difficult to concentrate. You'll find yourself very impulsive. You'll find yourself not being at peace, even though you have all the things that, all the good things that life has given you. You'll find it very difficult to be peaceful. You'll find it very difficult to keep your mind still. Your mind is always going to hook up in one thought or the other. You'll find it very difficult to let go of your past. Someone did something to you, and you'll always find yourself carrying that trauma, your past life trauma, whatever experience you have had in the past, whether it is good or whether it is bad. You will try to cling on to those experiences and find it very difficult to let go of past experiences and accept the present. Okay, it is always going to keep your mind hooked in the past as such. Okay, so check it out in your chart if you have any planets in the Navamsha of Aquarius or in Aquarius Amsha, as we call it, and do let me know in the comment section if this works for you. Of course, it should, as it worked for me. And that's all in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the content if if you think you want more from this, from this channel, and please share it with your friends and family if you think they are going to benefit from this knowledge. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in yet another video. Namaste. Om Gurave Namaha.